The GeorgeNotFound situation. One of the funniest things in a long time.
So recently, everybody has been talking about the GeorgeNotFound situation. Creators have been coming forward to give their takes on this entire drama. Even people who have no relationship with the MCYT community and have no audience.
I actually have no idea who GeorgeNotFound is. I know very little about this situation, but the stuff I know is hilarious. I woke up today and I saw a tweet that Mr. Beast instantaneously after this drama could remove GeorgeNotFound from some kind of Feastables logo tweet, I'm not sure, but he just brutally edited it out. And I think that's hilarious because that just shows everyone how the YouTube game at the end works. You're useful until you're not useful, and then you can crawl in a corner and do whatever because no one cares.
Overlap with GeorgeNotFound or any Minecraft content have come forward to give their thoughts on the situation because of how weird of a situation it is. But one person whose opinion I think actually matters a lot and what he says influences the public perception quite a bit is Dream, because not only is he obviously one of the biggest Minecraft YouTubers out there, but he was actually in the hotel room where everything that's being said about GeorgeNotFound took place in. It was Dream's hotel room, and he recently was on a Twitter space where he gives his thoughts on everything that took place that evening.
How does Dream never manage to get out of these situations? Like a magnet. Get a situation and it's happening. And by the way, as far as I can understand, it was a hotel room with like 20-plus-year-old guys and the girl was 18 or something. And by the way, is it true? Because I think I watched a couple of Twitter videos where the girl is crying her eyes out and yelling into the skies how bad it was and what heinous activities happened to her. And it was, someone touched my tie. That's it. Man, the world is too weak, okay? We need a purge. No, you know what we need? We need the ZZX to hit sooner, okay, Bill Gates? Please. Let's get it started because I can't wait.
And sort of how he feels about the night currently, how he did looking back, and all that sort of stuff. So I want to look at this Twitter space today, and I want to hear what Dream has to say about everything that's going down. And I probably will be criticizing a fair amount of the stuff he says, because ultimately, a lot of people are being super apologetic to this Katie girl who's come forward against GeorgeNotFound.
Why? Nothing happened to her. She got drunk without being 21 because it's America for some reason, and yeah, nothing really happened, but she's acting like the whole world is blowing up. Well, that's what you get when you got these young people who have never had to deal with any adversity in their lives, and when they went to school, they each had a private psychologist telling them, oh no, it's not your fault, you're a piece of shit, it's everyone else's fault. And then they have no idea how to deal with responsibility, or, with the consequences of their actions, or take any accountability. And so, the fact that someone touched the thigh or leg of this girl is the most heinous thing in the universe, honestly, which is, by the way, hilarious in my opinion. There's so many things that could have happened there, but no, someone touched your leg, maybe, even, we don't even know, and that's the end of the universe? Dude, come on.
And frankly, I think she needs to be scrutinized a little bit harder, because ultimately when you give someone like this a platform, like Katie, and she alleges all of this crazy stuff against GeorgeNotFound, basically saying that he ruined her life for a set amount of time, and she's never going to be the same person after these horrible things took place. And the things in question,
yeah. The stuff I saw was beyond dramatic.
Is literally him putting his hand on her hip when they're both drunk and they've been flirting with each other. I feel like you can't.
So it's hip, not even thigh. A thigh is a little bit more personal, but a hip? Whew. Man. How will the world ever recover?
Can't really give these people the kind of credibility and validation they're looking for, because not only does that allow them to feel completely justified in making some crazy claims, but it's also going to set a horrible precedent to other people. Imagine someone looking at Katie and seeing the kind of support she's getting from even Dream in this Twitter space, and then looking back to a time where maybe they were at a party, and then some guy they'd been flirting with, goes to give her a hug, but without asking if he can get the hug first, and then she for some reason thinks that that's the same thing thing as like SA. It's like insane. It's a really bad precedent to set, so I'm probably going to be scrutinizing a lot of what Dream is saying because...
Did he say that's a really bad precedent to set?
I think what he says influences public perception quite a bit, and the precedent that's being set by him is, I think, a pretty dangerous one, and one that I think if is the way people look at situations like this is probably not going to end up good for anybody. But with that all being said, and without further ado, let's take a look at this Twitter space, and before we do, please be sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. My views have been kind of down.
You heard what he said? Like my video
recently, so if you could just, bless me up with that quick little clicks on your screen, I would greatly appreciate it. Let's get into it.
First things first, I just want to, as quickly and as,
Oh yeah, I have not heard Dream speak probably more than once in my life. Okay. And man, how many situations has Dream been into and he keeps getting into? Dude, okay, let's be completely honest. You're a public figure and you just take 18-year-old girls to your hotel room to get drunk? I'm sorry, but if there's one thing that looks bad, it's Dream yet again. Because that's something you shouldn't do. That's very much something you shouldn't do. You can take the 18-year-old girl to your hotel room, no problem. But don't get them drunk. Don't allow them to drink alcohol. Because remember, they're completely usable. Because it's legal and whatnot, but you can't get them drunk because that will make you look bad. And Dream somehow magically just keeps doing these things. It's crazy.
The very first thing I want to be is say that I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Katie. I'm sorry for in any way whatsoever that I contributed to your pain.
Pain?
I just would like to make it clear that until 3 days ago, whenever this
I just want to make it clear, I think every single person involved in this is mentally deficient and insane, just FYI.
Happened, I had no idea whatsoever that anything took place in any way whatsoever.
So we're all aboard the Yap Express at this point, and he's just gonna keep on saying the talking points that you would expect, like I'm so sorry, I had no idea, yada yada, right? So ultimately he's gonna keep saying that script, which is fine, he's just acting in self-preservation, but ultimately he has no reason to say sorry. He didn't do shit. Like, even if you think GeorgeNotFound did something, and even if you've bought into the narrative that he is like the actual bad guy in this situation, what can you put Dream onto? Is Dream supposed to be like meat watching GeorgeNotFound the entire night, making sure he knows where his friend's meat is? No! And Dream says, I had no idea anything took place. Well, me neither, Dream.
Oh, no.
I don't even know where you're getting that from because that wasn't even in Katie's testimony. So that's really interesting, Dream. Do you know something we don't? Did something take place? Because is this guy just me tooing himself? What is he even talking about?
Oh yeah, because she's drunk, that's why the sexual stuff would be bad. Because she is 18. She wasn't like 17 or anything, right? I'm not imagining that. Because again, no very sparse details about this, but what I know makes it hilarious.
It just kind of bothers me that he can be gaslit into believing there's something he could have done, or that he has to address this, or that he has to be accountable in any sort of...
I mean, Dream has been in so many dramas at this point. Every time something like this happens, he probably actually has a mental breakdown and starts crying, not again! I mean, which is stupid, because again, you should kind of learn to avoid these things. Hey, she's 18, how about you don't get her drunk? Crazy ideas, I know. Now, admittedly, I'm European, and if you're 18, that's a legal drinking age for us, so I don't give a shit, honestly. The fucking idea that Americans are currently up in arms because they're 18 and they got drunk sounds absolutely ridiculously hilarious to me in general, but yeah.
Way for what took place. Like, Dream literally did less than nothing. Dream had the same level of involvement in this situation as the oxygen molecules in the room. Actually, no, the oxygen molecules were entering people's bodies without consent, so I don't know, go meet through the periodic table while you're at it. Dream literally stood there and it was his hotel room, and that's the total involvement he had, and I guess probably he bought alcohol, but who, like, what, I just don't, like, what is he even supposed to say?
I think that discussions like this are important to have.
I mean, even though American drinking age 21 is hilarious, but it's still kind of against the law to get a minor drunk in that case.
Because understanding is very important in preventing anything remotely like this from happening to anyone in the future. And
Dude, I want to find an 18-year-old American who can tell me how a party looks in America when you're 18. Do you just have a bunch of people and every one of them has like 5 rape whistles around their neck or something like that in case anything happens? And a heart monitor that displays stuff and there's an automatic whistle if it gets too high? How does this even work?
so nothing that I say is to invalidate anything. Nothing that I say is to argue with anything. Anything I say is purely 100% just to show my perspective and show try and find understanding with Katie, with anyone who wants to understand me as a human being, as a person. I think that I am a reasonable person that does I think that I'm a good person. I think that I
Dude, if someone just showed me this and said, hey, yeah, this is some rando dude, I would say, yeah, this is a mentally unfit random person who is completely not adjusted to existence in general, and they are in danger to society because they're insane. Not gonna lie.
always will try my best to do good.
Guy is on his hands and knees begging the public to deem him as a good person. Dude, please, like, you didn't have to do this. You didn't have to go on Twitter Space. You could have just done nothing. Blood is acting like it's Judgment Day and he's being judged for all of his previous sins. You know, go to confession or something, okay? If it's this big of a deal and you want to say sorry to the world or get reassurance that you're not a bad guy, I would not recommend doing so through a Twitter Space. He's so puppy-coated. Have you guys seen those TikToks, Instagram Reels, where the comments are simping for Dream, calling him like a fluffy boy? Very strange crop of people saying these things. It's like the class...
Minecraft YouTuber. Completely insane, mentally deranged audience. Wow, I really did never expect that.
Of 2038 simping for Dream. It's quite funny.
That's pretty bad. Are all these kids, by the way?
He's my alpha wolf.
That's good, though. He's my alpha wolf. That's good.
He's just too cute. I want to hug him so bad. I love him, girl.
There was some strange
Okay, I was gonna actually skip that because that went too long.
about that in Katie's post, in her second post, regarding ages, and I wasn't really concerned with anybody's ages because nothing from my perspective, nothing was happening at all. It was everyone was just playing games and having fun, and just to give some insight into drinking because people mentioned underage drinking. Almost everyone that was there was 21 or older. Obviously, Ghosty was nearly 21, and Katie was, not, obviously. But just to give insight into that, I don't know.
Okay, so he's completely dodging any responsibility for the one thing that actually, would kind of require him as a nice person to actually say, yeah, my bad, gonna do better next time. He doesn't even need to apologize, he just needs to say, hey, I'm gonna do better next time. That's it, because again, who gives a shit, right?
I don't know what the morally correct thing is to do with, alcohol in terms of everybody. Obviously, I think at conventions, it's pretty commonplace for people that, creators that are 18, 19, 20, whatever age to drink, I guess. I've never seen or been around anyone at a party that has gone up to a 17-year-old, or not 17, an 18-year-old or 19-year-old or anybody and been like, hey, put that alcohol down. You shouldn't be drinking, especially not if they're already drunk or they're just around 20 other of their friends. So I just genuinely, I don't know if that's incorrect of me or that's something that if that's something that I need to in the future be more cautious of.
Okay, so this is one of those things you don't want to ask.
He's just trying so hard to look good here. It's hilarious. He doesn't even need to probably say anything in reality. Who gives a shit? I don't like Dream, but honestly, who gives a shit?
Twitter their opinion on, because they're gonna have the opinion that is just the least realistic. Realistically, if you're at a party and then there's an 18-year-old drinking, if you don't know they're 18 and they maybe look 18, are you seriously gonna go out of your way to make that your problem? Like, I'm not talking about if you see someone getting into their car and they're obviously inebriated and you need to prevent a drunk driving incident. Obviously do that. Or if someone's throwing up and they maybe need your help getting to the bathroom, that's a lot different. But if you're at like a creator party and then there's like a lot of people there and one person there looks like they might not be 21, like, are you gonna go up to them and press them about it? No. Just honestly, the answer is just no. But this is one of those things where if you're Dream and you ask Twitter, what should I do? They're going to be like, well, it's your responsibility to make sure that no minors are drinking in your presence or no under 21 people are drinking in your presence. And it's just like, actually, it's not the dude's responsibility at all, okay? He's not a babysitter. He's not these people's parents. He's not the law.
Wait, it actually is your responsibility in this case. He's completely wrong, because doesn't that make you and doesn't it make it your responsibility automatically? Like, you're in your hotel room, you have bought drinks, and now people are going there to get drunk. Yeah, you're kind of the host. The host does have some responsibilities, and there is this 18-year-old that's gonna get drunk on, well, everything that you did here. That is your responsibility, actually. I'm pretty sure that, well, maybe it doesn't. I'm not sure. Not American. But it sounds like something that you should have responsibility in, honestly.
He's just some guy. And ultimately, like, if there's a 10-year-old person swigging whiskey in front of Dream, yeah, I'm sure he'll stop it or be like, where's your parents? But Twitter will hear that and be like, well,
no, that would be hilarious. I would not stop that.
You should do it because if I was in your situation, I would never allow for any person under the age of 21 to be engaging in irresponsible activities. It's called accountability, Dream.
Well, to be fair, everyone on Twitter has the right to say that because it's their opinion. And that's what they're expressing. So, everyone who wants to blast Dream for this, by the way, you can. I'm saying I don't give a shit, but at the same time, if you want to blast Dream, go ahead. If you want to protect Dream and be a simp, go ahead. It's not like your life's worth living anyway, loser.
Have you ever heard of it? You should try taking some. It's like, oh my god.
Of course, when I saw Katie's original post and her original stream that she did, I was shocked. I was incredibly shocked. I was confused. I was sad, genuinely. I
oh, shut the fuck up.
I didn't know, like, what to think. I didn't know what to do. And of course, I watched it multiple times. And then I went and talked to George about it and was, talking about.
What did he talk to George about?
Many of the things that happened. I went through every text message that I sent about the event. I went through every conversation that I had ever had about everything, to try and understand what
to try and see if anything makes me look bad, because that would be bad. That's what actually happened. Again, they're popular creators. None of them give a shit about anything except what's gonna happen to them, as humans normally do in situations like this.
Understand how I could have overlooked something, if that makes any sense at all.
I actually feel bad for the dude. He did nothing wrong whatsoever, and yet you can hear it.
I don't. I want Dream to have a mental breakdown because I think it would be funny.
How, like, careful he's trying to be to not mince words. Like, he's like, yeah, I looked over the entire group chat and the history of everything to see how I could have overlooked something. And he's like, if that makes any sense at all, I don't know. It's like, dude, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I totally get what you mean. Like, yeah, but either way, it's not your job to even see if you've overlooked anything. Like, you didn't do anything wrong. This drama isn't even about you. Nothing's being alleged against you right now. And yet he's still finding a way to, like, be on the defense. Like, I feel bad for the guy. He's not even being canceled for anything right now, but yet he still somehow sounds like he is. Like, the way he's responding to everything makes it
It sounds like he's broken. Good.
sound like, from his perspective, he thinks he's in the crosshairs. Like, he thinks he's being hunted down by the cancel culture mob. It's actually so sad to hear.
I mean, I have no pity for that again. Dream is someone who magically gets himself constantly in these situations. Yeah, I think it's on. Honestly, I think Dream is just a problem waiting to happen.
If I'm him in this situation, either I'm just gonna double down all the way or just personally sit this one out and watch from the sidelines. But considering that one of those options kind of makes you like a bad friend, I'm just gonna have to double down. Like, if I'm best friends with GeorgeNotFound and I see this bullshit come down, I'm not gonna jump in and just kind of give a half take to remain neutral. No, I was there. I know what's happening. This whole thing's bullshit. My friend's being slandered. I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna help him. Now, at that point, he actually is risking getting backlash because he's saying something substantive and not just kind of giving this milquetoast like, oh, you know, I don't really know if that makes sense. Like, I don't really know. I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I know what happened. I know what I'm about to say. And if you're upset, sorry, but this is the truth.
Because I was just confused. I was this is out of nowhere. This is something that to me came absolutely out of nowhere. And of course, in talking to George about it, and again, just to clarify, I'm repeating myself, but I'm not speaking for George, and I'm not speaking about George, other than this very specific instance because it's important. The perspective from what George shared in his stream, of course, is from his perspective, and is very similar to what he explained to me. That if anyone whatsoever has had any negative experience, any especially anything remotely like this with any
Holy shit, this is 14 minutes long. Wow.
anybody that I know or that I'm friends with or close with or anything, if anybody has had any negative experience, please tell me. Please. I will not go straight to them and tell them. I will first and foremost try and understand and try and hear.
Dream, I have a confession. I once met George, and he instantaneously went for my butthole, okay? He inhaled all of that ass dust that I had, okay? He did not stop. I said, "Oh, George, stop, and he didn't. It was horrible, Dream. Please save me. Or give me money. I don't actually care. Okay, this is boring as fuck. Let's get back to the girl crying and moaning about nothing happening. That's a little bit more funny. Anyway, this is Quizzer said, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And that was a Cheeto. Pretty sure this was a Cheeto, right? Yeah, a Cheeto. Look at this. Wow, Hassan. Pokemon. I have no idea what this is. Anyway, this was Quizzer said, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.